Hey, I'm Sith King.
And I'm Sonic Sons.
And we're the Rambling Reviewers.
And today we're looking at Summer Wars, the anime, which in Japan is known as Sama Wars.
Wow, you really broke the bank on the imagination.
Hey, that's what I could read it when it came up. I was like Sama Wars. Something close to that.
Yeah, I mean...
Which is how you pronounce Summer Wars with a Japanese accent. They don't have all the same sound combinations that we have.
Yeah, I know, but still. I mean, what is so special about English that... I mean, we like to... It's weird, you know? I mean, if the Japanese want to make something sound really mystical and weird, they say it in English. When English speakers want to say something really weird and bizarre, we say it in Latin.
Yeah.
So what the hell do the Latins use?
Celtic.
And I bet the Celtic just use ancient Egyptian, and ancient Egyptians use Japanese, which they got from time-traveling ninja robots from the future.
Alright, so Summer Wars is this sort of action-y romance mishmash.
Okay, you know how in Pacific Rim I described it as the bastard child of like a billion different things, and it was glorious because of that? This is like the bastard child of Digimon, Tron, Love Hina, a bunch of romantic sitcoms, Saw... No, not Saw.
Saw? Where did you get Saw?
Naginata part.
Oh, what? That's still not Saw. That's just a Naginata.
Okay, fine. Yeah, it combines all these wonderful things, and boy, does it not do well.
Oh, come on. I really like this movie. I don't know why you don't like it. Are you picking things apart or something? Well, we always.
When do I not pick things apart?
How about when we just reviewed Enchanted 5 minutes ago?
Yeah, and I was disappointed that I didn't get to pick things apart.
Yeah.
You will give me my picky.
So, it starts off by telling us that there's basically a super Facebook called Oz. And,
sadly, there's no Yellow Brick Road.
There's no Yellow Brick Road, but there's, even governments have, portals through Oz to, help people if, if they have questions to their government or whatever. Everybody logs into Oz. And Matt is, immediately pissed off that Oz is so big and powerful that even governments use it. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, there's the internet, but Oz didn't really present itself as that professional. I mean, everyone has this little avatar where they, it's just a couple pixels or something where they look all cutesy and stuff. I don't know. The internet doesn't do that. I don't know.
That's why they have Oz, to be better than the internet.
Yeah, the internet, I don't need a net navy to navigate, though I do like that.
Well, then why are you complaining when they give you net navies to navigate? So one of the first things we see, our main guy and his buddy, Kenji and his buddy, are, they work for Oz, sort of low-level part-timer types. And they
keep the Oompa Loompas in line.
They
Yes, I will continue making those jokes all throughout this review.
All right. So they're typing at their computers, and then we see their avatars are typing at computers, and Matt's all like, "Why are they typing to make their avatars type at the computers? That's terrible."
Well, it's seriously. I mean, it's like when they have giant robots typing in commands to make it fly a gianter spaceship. Yeah, it's cool, but at the same time, why not just have the person fly the giant spaceship?
Because it's cool.
Okay, you have to be there.
So then his classmate, Natsuki, shows up. She's like, "Oh, I need someone to help me with this thing this weekend or this week or whatever." And they both volunteer, and she's like, two might be trouble. Well, as we find out, the reason she's hiring someone is to pretend to be her fiancé.
Yes, because this has never backfired in any form of fiction ever.
Yep. Kenji is roped into this. He doesn't even realize what's going on until he gets there. And there's a big family reunion, and her grandmother's there.
The grandmother is insane. Flee from her if you see her.
Oh, come on. The grandmother's awesome.
She's a hippo lady. She's a hippo animagus who will kill people if she gets the chance.
People that deserve to die?
No, they don't! No, he didn't!
What? Well, alright. Wabisuke, endangered the world. That's something.
Yeah, while trying to make money for his family. And it's not like he intended this program to be used.
They should have changed that a little bit. Okay, so the black sheep of the family is Wabisuke, and he, shows up out of the blue.
And, Natsuki, or Natsuke...
Natsuki.
Whatever. Susie, really likes kill the wabbit, Suki.
Bobby Suke. We're gonna have fun with Japanese names.
Look, I don't care. So Y2K Virus created a. Okay, so he created a computer. It turns out he created a computer virus that will.
It was an AI he designed it as. But yeah.
He designed an AI that takes over Oz and uses it to crash a satellite.
Well, that's eventually. First off, okay, he had made this. It's called Love Machine for some reason.
Yeah, that's. it might be a play on the "I love you" virus thing.
Something, I don't know. It's called Love Machine, and he made this. It was just as like a research thing, as an AI, played games and stuff. And he sold it to the military, and the military tested it on Oz, and then it went nuts, and it like ate everybody's avatars, and then it started causing trouble in the real world.
So really, it's the military's fault.
So yeah, but he was, I don't know, irresponsible or something. This is such a cool moment. I have to go like black and see exactly what happened to see how I can better justify. But what happens eventually is it turns out he's like, so people are like, their lives are in danger because like the fire department's always being called to the wrong place. 911's ringing off the hook with like nobody there. General chaos, and people's lives are at risk eventually. And so, Awabisuke admits, like, yeah, I created Love Machine. And the grandmother, like, kind of gets up, walks away. And for those of you who don't know what this thing is, it's a long stick with a very scary blade on the end. And she just, like, it's like a ceremonial thing in the corner.
It's a naginata. It's essentially a Japanese spear.
Yeah. She whips it off and then, like, points it at him and just goes, die like a man. And you're like,
why would you do that?
Wow,
okay, there are several reasons why I have a problem with that. One, no, do not threaten to kill a guy because someone used his invention for evil. That's like Einstein's mother hating him because someone used his research to create the atomic bomb. Okay, and two, no, I have a great-grandmother who is about, Grandma Psycho's age. And you know what? She can barely freaking move. She has to use a walker and a wheelchair to get around everywhere. She's not going to be able to pick up a fucking spear, twirl it a couple times, and yell at me to get the fuck out.
That's what makes it so awesome.
No, that's what makes it stupid.
I just like this such a badass grandma. And then later I think it was earlier actually, she has the...
He sold one program to the military and they horribly misused it.
I will give you, they should have changed that idea. I'm just saying that they should have, A, justified that a little better, but then B, kept that seed. And it would have been justified, and it would have been so cool to be like, Grandma's angry, and he deserves it, is supposed to be the feeling of that seed.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the feeling. Maybe this is the Japanese thing where they believe that, sanity does not exist. But, I don't know, what I got out of that was, yes, I worked hard and I created this program and someone misused my work.
Yeah,
but I did all of this. I sold it to them so I could raise the money to get back to you guys because as much as you all hate me, this is still my family.
Yeah.
And then, fuck that! I'm a killer bitch! And then Granny hulks out. I was glad when she died.
Oh, man.
Well, no, seriously, everyone loved her to the point where it was really creepy. It was like, yep, we're about ready to martyr ourselves and throw ourselves onto the granny's funeral pyre.
Nobody did that.
They acted like it.
She saved the world with a telephone.
No, she didn't.
At that one point. No, she totally did. She calls up everyone in the world and, like, re-coordinates the entire nation. I thought that was amazing. She has everybody's phone number and, like, gets them all working together. It was like a community spirit moment thing, and again, like, the grandma gets to be a badass.
Again, maybe this is just one of those things that's lost in translation, You appreciate that thing because, well, you actually understand Japanese culture. I barely understand American culture, and I live here. Eventually, they have this plan to stop the Love Machine virus, and... So they get like a super huge Giga Deluxe supercomputer server.
It was very vague exactly how you get to fight Love Machine. Because on one hand you're like, oh, I guess it exists in Oz, so if we beat it according to Oz's rules, then it dies. And on the other hand, it's we need a supercomputer. Why do you need a supercomputer if you're doing it through Oz? Do you get more points if you have more processing power? Is that a thing?
And then they're like, oh, but we need to cool it down with ice. So they did that, and then
Wabisuke moved all the ice, and his thing started frying to death.
no one was briefed upon the fact that we're trying to save the world.
Nah,
we could have saved. We're
Wabisuke
making sure
wasn't.
this thing doesn't. This would be a thing. If this was going on in my house, I would be informed of this, even if I wasn't directly involved. Hell, I would probably just be recruited just to bring sandwiches in.
Yeah.
Let the bitch's corpse fry for a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, and then finally, the way they defeat it is they beat it in a game of Japanese cards of some kind.
Well, yeah, they had several rounds of this. They got it like trapped in a giant building thing, like a digital building, and then they filled the digital building with digital like water, I think. And they're gonna digital drown it, and you're like, how does any of this work? I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean, if this is a metaphor for something, but no, they acted like this is totally serious. We're gonna drown the virus. How? It's a virus. It doesn't need to breathe.
Now again, you could go with
It can't swim.
It's working on Oz's rules, but it was vague because it was hacking Oz. It was screwing with everything, so like it could just.
And why is this one single family that important? Wouldn't there be like Oz admins working around the clock to kick this thing's ass?
Yeah, well, they explained that a little with the combination of King Cosmo happens to be in our family. He's the best fighter in the world. And we happen to have a supercomputer. And we were involved because the thing impersonated Kenji for a while. I'm not sure why. He does this thing, like, it emails him with a math problem, and he figures it out and emails it back. And then it turns out like 100 other people in the world also solved that problem.
But then it turns out that Kenji...
he didn't because he got like the last character wrong.
But it chose Kenji.
It chose Kenji anyway because he likes people that make typos, I guess. I don't know. I love that scene. There's a lot of things that don't make sense, but I love the way the scenes play out anyway. Because it's totally like he's watching baseball or something. But it comes on the news because it's baseball. But it comes on the news like, and someone seems to be hacking Oz. We think it'd be someone named Kenji, and he's like, wait, what? Turn that off. Let me unplug it. And then like this whole extended family. It's awkward enough already. I think it's almost a metaphor for family awkwardness here. Awkward enough to meet new folks, and then on top of that, did you hack the internet? Did you blow up the world?
Did you break the internet?
Yeah. It's like
seriously,
what?
they don't have. Seriously, if this was a modern computer, we just type Control Alt Delete or something, and boom, we beat the virus. Da, 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 da.
Well,
and then eventually, so the virus is down to like just 2 avatars it controls. So anyway, so then it starts to deorbit a satellite onto their house.
Yeah.
And Kenji has to hack it out like every 10 seconds, otherwise, in order to get control of the satellite back.
Yeah.
Except no, that's not how it works. If the satellite hit even like 100 feet away, you'd still be dead because it's a deorbiting satellite.
I wonder how much mass an average satellite has, though. That could possibly be
enough.
I don't know. I'm just saying, especially when there's air drag.
Well, okay, if it was enough to cause a geyser to appear in the middle of nowhere, punching down into the water table, then no, you are not close enough to survive. Wait, you are...
Too close to survive.
Yeah, that one.
You are not close... That'd be amazing.
You
must
cannot
get closer
survive.
to the death zone, and then... I don't know the physics there. And well, we made this point earlier when we were talking about it, is it wasn't clear what Love Machine's motives were and why it was dicking around with everything.
Or why it wanted to kill everyone, or why it...
Yeah.
Was it a troll? Was it like Loki? Was it just annoying?
Yeah.
Did it love its father and was just hoping for some sort of approval?
Daddy, if you don't approve of me, I'll drop a satellite on you.
Yeah, more common in fiction than you think.
Yeah.
But and the story just had too much story. You could have doubled the length and maybe... it could have done like a family awkwardness thing just fine. It could have handled an end of the world plot just fine. But I don't think it worked well together by trying to have family comedy going on at the same time as end of the world. Well, I'll go make radishes. I'll go get the supercomputer for the bunker.
They do that at one point. They were all like, we have to, do this next stage of hacking. And then like suddenly they're all at the table eating. And you're like... Why shouldn't you eat as you work? Maybe. Why do you have to?
Isn't there like a deorbiting satellite? Didn't your grandmother die? Didn't you just have this whole big speech about how people are going to keep dying like your grandmother?
Yeah, so they should have
yeah, you
polished
guys are
some
dicks.
of this. What they should have done is so first off, at the moment they're gonna eat, it should be like, oh, the computer's doing a thing that will take an hour and we can't speed it up.
Oh no, it's especially bad when they're eating when there's a half hour before the satellite will hit their house.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we're just gonna have...
No, run! Scatter to the four winds of heaven! Run! Flee! Flee like cockroaches escaping a sinking ship. No, wait, that's rats. Flee like rats escaping a sinking ship! Leave the granny corpse! He will only slow you down!
Yeah, so they should change that.
You have cars!
And
Drive!
Are you done?
Well, that depends. Are you going to start talking again? Because I'm willing to keep this on. No, I'm done.
But yeah, and Love Machine, it should have been, it's a game playing AI, and what it's doing is playing games on a massive scale, and it doesn't realize the real world is not just like a new platform. So there could be like, there's a game where you play as like an alien that, throws meteors down onto the enemy planet, let's say, and he's like, oh, look, it's that game. I can deorbit satellites onto people. That'd be kind of interesting. Like, it's not just evil, it's just playing games, it's trying to win, it doesn't understand, like, what the frick it's doing. And that would just, make its motivation more clear.
Yeah.
And the same thing with all the other trouble it caused. You could just invent a whole bunch of fanciful games that somehow, are similar to that. And whatever. But... yeah, I just like the characters. I liked all the little moments that popped up. I liked at the end when they sang, because it was Grandma's birthday, they were originally celebrating, and then she died.
And then she had the creepy Harry Potter picture that changed in between shots.
Did it really?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
It was smiling contentedly. And then, like, when he had his humorous romantic pratfall, the picture was laughing. It was laughing. It was a soulless abomination.
Magic Granny's cool.
Yeah, of course. Well, it makes sense. She's an animagus. She's a hippo animagus with her 4 teeth. It makes sense. Hippo is the most lethal creature in Africa.
But I liked that, that they it was bittersweet, but overall sweet for them. That they had done something good. They had come together as a family. That they had dealt with this Wabisuke thing. That the guy was getting together with the girl, and they didn't spend a whole lot of time on that romance. But I like
they didn't spend a whole lot of time on anything.
I like the one bit where she was crying and he held her hand. They didn't fall madly in love at the end. It was just like, oh hey, maybe there's a thing. And so they didn't push it too hard.
There isn't a thing.
Oh,
Run before the crazy family finds you.
I
don't know.
I like the hustle. Okay, here's something even you like. When they first they get down to dinner, like before the world starts ending and all that, and there's the level of dialogue going between the hustle and bustle of this family.
I did like that.
The one guy's like half drunk, like, so, have you taken your clothes off yet? He's like, shut up, you. Go back to your beer.
I did like that.
So there was such personality and everything. I will give you that several plot elements did not quite work out, but there was a lot of personality in this movie.
There was a lot of personality. But quite frankly, I don't think it was enough to save this movie. The people were idiots, or either idiots or psychos, who have no sense of priorities. The way they defeated the bad guy was beyond insane.
Hacking a lot.
By playing a card game.
Well,
My God, it suddenly turned into Yu-Gi-Oh!
See, there's another one. Like, yeah, why would it make sense that the thing runs on card games? I don't know, but the whole world coming together thing and giving their avatars and stuff was like, oh, it's a nice moment type of thing, even though it doesn't make sense. Yeah, and the animation the whole way through is great.
The animation was great, I must admit that, but I still don't think that makes up for the fact that the plot makes no sense and was hemorrhage-inducing in your brain.
Watch out for hemorrhages.
Quite frankly, I don't know. I just feel it failed in several ways that I don't think I can overlook.
It's in our difference of the way we overlook or don't overlook things, I suppose.
I'm sorry. I guess I really sympathize with the characters too much. So I guess I really just put myself in Wabisuke's shoes for a little bit. So I just felt really sympathetic towards him. And then fucking Psycho Granny tries to cut a bitch.
I mean, yeah, to be clear, I would think that was Psycho if it happened in real life. It was just that, like, that right level of ridiculous for me where it was entertaining, you know. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
So, in short, I don't recommend it. Sonic recommends it.
Yeah, I don't know. Go check it out and see what you think. And leave us a comment or something.
Yeah, seriously.
But for all we know, by the time we post this, we've been getting so many comments that it makes no sense to appeal for more.
But at the time of recording this, we only have 3 videos up, and we have maybe 4 comments total across all of them.
October 21st right now. We're just getting started. We need... Whatever. Okay, we're going to talk about this movie. I think we're done about this movie. And,
yeah. Okay, well, anyways, I'm Sith King.
And I'm Sonic Sons.
And we're signing off.